Hey everybody, hey. Today we are in the prepping area doing eggs today. We gotta get our eggs ready because you know what's happening and I know what's happening. So let's grab some eggs. We're gonna show you today how to preserve those eggs. Grab your eggs and come on back. Okay, so welcome back. All right, so if this is your first time joining this channel, let me be the first to welcome you. If you're returning, welcome back. I am so excited. Today we get to preserve our eggs. Now, the purpose of the video is to show you 3 ways to actually preserve eggs to save you time, to save you money. The first way we're going to show you today will be using the snack bag method, is what I call it. You put your eggs in a snack bag. The second way is we're going to use the silicone muffin trays. So that's the second one. The third way we're going to show you is by using the mineral oil directly on your eggs. So let's cover the first way. You're going to need the silicone bags, your measuring cup, as well as a whisk. So we can whisk the eggs, okay? The first way, I have 4 eggs here in my measuring cup, and for the sake of camera, we don't have to crack the eggs here. You know how to crack an egg. Put it in a bowl, and we're gonna add just 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt to that, and that's just to preserve the eggs a little bit longer, as well as for taste. The salt is optional, so I'm just going to whisk this just enough to, we don't want to do a hard whisk, you just want to whisk softly, okay, just enough to mix it and to break the yolks up. Try to get as less air in this as possible, so that's why we're not doing a hard whisk. Now, this is how it'll look, just slightly whisked, all right? Once you've done that, you're going to take your snack bag, and we've already pre-labeled our bag. You'll need to have your bags pre-labeled. Save yourself some time, and that way you don't have to try to write on the bag once it's done. Okay, you're going to just pour the 4 eggs directly in the bag. Okay, directly in the bag. Bam, there you go. 4 eggs. And then we're just going to seal this up, taking as much air out of it as possible. And we're going to seal that up. So now we have 4 eggs ready to freeze. And I basically allowed this to freeze flat. So I have a clear pan here that we can use just to allow the eggs to lay there and seal flat. Okay, so this will go in the freezer. You can do 4 eggs. I like to also do the same process using half of the amount of salt and just whisk it up for 1 egg. Same process. And I have a couple of bags pre-labeled for 1 egg. Now, why do I do that? Because sometimes the recipe only calls for 1 egg, or you may have a family member that wants to have an egg and nobody else wants to have an egg. So I have a bag here with 1 egg, and we're just going to do the same thing. We have whisk it just a little bit. Put your 1 egg in. And of course, get all the air out. Pre-label your bag. And there we have 1 egg ready to go. And we're going to put that flat into our freezing container here. And this is just going to go in the freezer. And once they're all flat, I'll bring you back and show you how easy it is to store. One of the benefits of doing it this way is to create more freezer space. So you just, everything is stacked really, really beautifully, and I love it when that happens. So that is the first way of storing your eggs. They will store this way for up to a year. You can have eggs in the freezer. So that's method number one. Okay? Okay, so the second way to preserve your eggs would be to put them in a silicone tray. All right, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to crack an egg and put it in the tray. All right, so it's just simple. You crack the egg. All right, and then you won't see me, but you'll see what I'm doing here is I'm going to just actually drop it in the tray. Okay, all right, and I'll do another one, and I'm going to drop it in the tray. So there's actually no whisking involved in this process. So once you have your tray full, for camera magic, here we go. We have a tray full of eggs that we just simply crack and open, put one in each of the muffin cups. Okay, so now that we have both trays full, so we're going to now put these in the freezer for about 2 to 4 hours. And then I will bring you back to show you what all of this turns out to look like. And we'll also talk about the third way to preserve your eggs, okay? All right, so let's talk about this third way to preserve your eggs, because we know you're going to need eggs. So the third way today, we will be using the mineral oil of any sort. It doesn't have to be a particular brand. And all we're going to do is just, I like to use gloves for this part. Take the mineral oil and just lubricate the gloves really, really well. Just get a good lubricant on there. And that feels really good. And then you're just going to take your eggs that have the condensation wiped off of it. You don't want any wetness there. So you want to just kind of let that pat dry your eggs and let it sit for a little bit. And then you're going to just take the egg and lubricate it to bring it back to a natural state as if it was just being hatched. And then put the egg with the point down. Okay, so you're just going to go over your eggs. And these can be store-bought as well as fresh eggs. It does not have to be fresh eggs. You can use store-bought for this. Okay, so that's all you got to do is just lubricate the eggs. This gives that protective layer, and this will cause your eggs to be just fine in the refrigerator for 8 months, I've heard. So, hey, we're going to give this a try and see. So my thing is, while I'm doing this, I'm just going to talk to you. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. I know that's a corny saying, but don't put all your eggs in one basket. Preserve your eggs in different ways. Have fun with it. Involve your children. I always like to say that because they can have fun and they can learn, hey, if I need to preserve eggs, I can do it this way. And there's also water glassing. I won't do that method on this video today, but you could water glass your eggs. All right, so I'm going to finish this up off camera, and I will bring you back to show you the results of all 3 parts. So I'll bring you back in a second. Hope you guys are enjoying this. And I just challenge you, get you some eggs and preserve them now. I just paid $11 for these eggs. $11.22 for 60 eggs at Walmart. And I used to get these eggs for $4.97, $6.06, and now $11.22. So let's get busy and preserve our eggs. Okay, we got the final results, guys. Here we go. So 3 ways that we did today. I want to show you the final results. On the bags, the snack bag method, this is how flat the one egg comes out to be. So that is a really flat. And you can do something like this. This is one with 3 eggs. So it's really flat. So we use a container like this, and we just store them easily because you can just stack as many as you need in the freezer and keep them pretty much all together. So just go pick up a little container at the dollar store and you're good to go. You could just stack as many as you need. Okay, the second method was with our silicone tray. And as you can see, everything is frozen and good to go after about 4 hours. So all you're gonna do, I'm just gonna do one here on camera. You're just gonna pop that out. You see how that's coming out so easy. And you're just gonna pop it out. Just like that, 1, 2, 3, and it's out. It's not sticky. It actually resembles candy. Comes out so easy. So you're just gonna pop that out. Get you a freezer bag and just throw it over in the freezer bag, just like that. So we're just gonna pop it out. I'll do another one here. Just gonna pop it out. Oh, there we go. I love these silicone trays. And you're just gonna put it in your freezer bag. Okay, so for all intents and purposes, let's say you could put up to 6 or 7 in this one bag. I have off camera, I did 6. I popped out 6 and I used my food saver. If you can see that, use the food saver to get all of the air out. So that's just another method of saving your eggs for, up to a year. And you can just open them as you need them. So hopefully this has been helpful for you guys. We will go ahead and do the rest of that off camera. But as you can see, this is an easy method to make sure you have eggs for a long time. And the final method that we used today was to add the mineral oil to eggs that we caught on sale perhaps. So you're just going to do that, add your mineral oil, and put the eggs into a carton if you're separating them, and just store them in the refrigerator. Bottom of the refrigerator does well as long as it's in a cool, dry place. Okay, so make sure you do that in your refrigerator, and you have eggs 3 different ways you can have eggs. And I like to end the video with this. There is another way you can have eggs, and there are other ways as well. But Augustin Farms, they have, and I'm not promoting them in any way. I just purchased this because I wanted it. They have the whole egg powder. So this is good for up to 10 years in the number 10 can. So this is a freeze-dried method for the eggs. And I think it says two eggs. If you're trying to get 2 eggs, it's 1/3 of a cup. But this particular can has 72 servings. So you would get 72 servings of eggs, and this does not have to be refrigerated. And I think you guys already know that. But this particular can you can use for French toast, omelets, bread, muffins, cookies, cakes, and so much more. So grab you some Augustin Farms freeze-dried eggs. That way you have eggs. You don't have all your eggs in one basket. Okay? All right. Well, I hope this video has been a blessing to you. Don't leave just yet. We're going to go to ears to hear. All right, so we are in another Ears to Hear today. Just want to welcome you guys to this segment. I have just something I want to share. I always like to leave you guys with an encouraging word. I really enjoyed our preserving of the eggs today. Hope you'll be able to take that and use it. But most of all, I hope you'll be able to take this segment and use it. Today, I want to share something that I did that really worked for me, and I believe it'll work for you. A while back, this has been some years ago, I was praying and asking God, help me to be a better mother, help me to be a better wife, show me ways to be in this better place, whether it was, no matter what I was doing, I was always saying, God, make me better, help me to be better. And one thing I found out is that we can always be what we need to be, when we need to be, but the key is we have to use the wisdom of God in doing that. So in my evaluation of relationships, I said, wow, how can I be a better wife? You know, I've been married 22 years. So, you know, the wife that Michael married 22 years ago, well, I need to sometimes be something different in this time. So I always pray that our relationship is in a relevant place. Hopefully this will help someone. So in praying, the Lord gave me James. He said, you know, if you lack wisdom, and that's not just in relationships, but if you lack wisdom in anything, you can ask God and he'll give you wisdom. So today's verse I want to share with you is coming from James, 1st chapter, verses 2 through 8. And it reads, my brethren, count it all joy when you fall into divers temptation, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have her perfect work, that you may be perfect and entire, lacking nothing. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, who giveth to all men liberally, that includes men and women, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, never wavering, for he that wavereth is like the wave of the sea, driven and tossed by the wind. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So that's the verse, those verses were given to me. And I took those verses and I applied those verses. And I believe that even today, we can use the same wisdom. We can use the same word today to get into a place of wisdom. Now, the times that we're living in, of course, without a doubt, these are some rough times coming. But with wisdom, God reminded me, even in prayer this morning, and I don't know if this is just for me or for someone listening, but wisdom is better than anything that we could ever have. And one of the reasons is because God is the author of wisdom. He's the one who created wisdom. So he's the smartest person in any boardroom. And my mind went back to when I was working and in corporate America and so many meetings and things that I had to be a part of and had to present in. In many cases, it took wisdom, you know, and for you, if you're working, if you need wisdom for whatever you need wisdom for, whether it's raising a difficult child, whether it's a husband, whether it's being a caretaker for a senior parent, if you need wisdom, ask God and he'll give it to you. So I wanted to leave that with you. Remember that Yah is always the smartest person in the room. He's always got your back. He knows your strength. He knows your weaknesses. He knows all about it. So we don't have to fear anything. We don't have to think, well, gosh, what am I going to do about this? What am I going to do about that? Trust God. Take this wisdom, take this word with you today, and be blessed. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.